Alright, welcome back to Skeleton Knight, to another world. Anime review, episode number 9. This one I'm covering just episode 9. The Capital in Chaos and A Maiden's Oath. This one covers the last portion of chapter 4, and it covers pretty much the entire epilogue. Yeah, it covers the entire epilogue, which that's shocking, because first book I covered the first and last portion of the epilogue, but the middle section skipped. This one covered the whole thing. Oh, by the way, this book, basically with this episode anyways, this one took up exactly about 5 episodes, basically, because they kind of started adapting this already with episode 5. That's what they started with this one. And his episode here, you pretty much wrapped it up here. And there's only suggest about 3 more episodes left. I would not be surprised if somehow basically they decided to give the season an extra episode just to cover the rest of book 3, because our next story this week, book 3, this coming anyways. Speaking of what we left off last time, we have Chami and Ami where they basically break in while Ark and Gomen are basically just rampaging to all the guards. They break in, and of course see some ninjas basically with the info to other places. So how do they break into the store? Lockpick. Yep, they go in, beat some guards up pretty easily. We see her ninjutsu, her cat fang, her ninjutsu, basically like water wolf fang thing. Then of course basically like they free like some slaves, like all the buildings except for one. They proceed to do all this episode while beating a bunch of guards up. Though they do find a cell full of dead bodies. Yes, they do explain anybody who was injured or sick got thrown in this cell. So yeah, a lot of dead bodies. How many are there? They actually don't show the exact number until like the last bit of the episode. So that was actually when they go underground and they basically rescue slaves that are like underground, and then of course with the air places hit, Prince Darkus is upset, but it's like, gotta do something, and his subordinate there is like, oh, we'll do something. I'll handle this. He's like, that won't be necessary. Stab right in the freaking gut. Yep. And he just dies right there. And it turns out he's working with his older brother, Second, all along. Oh yeah, and they're the ones who also arranged the attack on Yamina, their own sister. Oh yeah, and they happen to have the necklace that they took from her, which they think she's dead, even though she really isn't. She's actually with the other sister. So they think she's dead. And meanwhile, before I move on to the stuff with Ark, I have to show, there's a couple of things that I talk about. One, Yamina does make it to meet her sister, which they actually cut a lot of stuff out here. Basically, her past some guards, and her sister actually is outside when they meet up again in the episode. In the book, basically, was limited to the castle when they finally meet up again. I like this change. It's perfectly fine, just to progress a little bit. So she figures out that her brother Siki was actually behind everything and stuff related to her and the other stuff. So they decided to keep her being alive a secret. Having her sister-in-law being alive is, from her perspective, perfectly fine. Probably trust her a lot more than her own brothers. So yeah, they probably got to plot something interesting. And then move on to the Holy Ramadan Empire. We show them, and outside it looks like the Roman Empire, because the armor, a couple of soldiers I've seen, they look like Roman centurions, minus the fact they wear skirts. They look like they wear regular pants. And the emperor, basically, you see there, he's informed about what happened to the prince. By the way, his name is Dominus Revan Falby. That's pretty much his name. He's informed about this and basically got a plan for the future. He's kind of here said to be a future villain. That's pretty much in the way what he's pretty much supposed to be. And now in the case of what Ark and their group are up to, where Ark went back to do like several transfer to get the slaves out of there. He did make one last trip to get all the bodies out. All of them. Didn't miss a single one. So as for how many were killed, it looks like about 30 people were killed. 30. All because they were sick or injured. So Arlene does the most sensible thing by burning them. Yes, burning them. And then pretty much like right afterwards, you have Ark and Goldman, where they just basically have like a Roman contest. They can have fast friends. And then of course mention, of course they mention they go to a hidden village in the Caucasus Mountains. Then they find the info about another trafficker on that list. They have to go to the Holy Roman Head, which leads to the final scene of the episode. And of course they do this while riding on a gondola. Yep, riding on a gondola. So they apparently rip off Venice in this scene for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Yep. So yeah, really good episode. Keeps surprisingly a lot in. I'd say stuff that cut was basically for time. But yeah, damn good episode. Can't wait for the next episode to come out. So yeah, that's episode of you. Next is going to be Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. Yes, that'll be next. And if I get time to, I might work on Case Closed. And Kaguya-sama Love is War. Okay? Next video. Bye.